Hello. Today I'm going to talk about my three favorite types of individual retirement accounts, or IRAs. You have your traditional IRA, you have your Roth IRA, and your 2A IRA. Now let me show you some differences. You probably can't read this. You probably can't see it because of the glare. But even if you could, you probably couldn't read my chicken scratch. I have horrible handwriting. But when it comes to IRAs for 2018, you can contribute up to $5,500 in your traditional or your Roth IRA if you're under 50 years old. If you're 50 or older, it's called catch-up mode or something like that. They have a special rule where you can contribute up to $6,500. So in my case, I can contribute $6,500 if I want to. Now, there is a limit on how much you make. If you make $118,000 and you file head of household single or married filing separately, then you start being phased out on what you can contribute. And I'm not sure where you're completely phased out, but I think it's around $130,000. If you're filing married, then as a couple, if you make $186,000, you start being phased out. Now, for everybody I know, even my rich relative, which I will not mention, then even they don't make that much money. So there's nobody I know personally that I'm related with or that I know that makes that kind of money. Okay, withdrawals. With the traditional IRA, you can start withdrawing at 59 and a half if your account is 5 years old or older. If you withdraw early, you got to pay taxes on what you withdraw plus a 10% tax penalty. With the Roth IRA, yeah, I told you couldn't read that, but I can. With your Roth IRA, withdrawal, a lot of people don't know this, but you can withdraw how much you've contributed without any type of a penalty with the Roth. Anytime you want to. If not, you have to, if you want to withdraw all of it, including what you've gained, you also have to wait until you're 59 and a half, or you'll have to pay a penalty. Now here's another thing when it comes to withdrawals. I do not like this rule. With a traditional IRA, you must take the money out. Start withdraw, not all of it, but you have to start taking withdrawals at 70 and a half years old, whether you want to or not, whether you need the money or not. Even if you think what you take out is going to go up 20% the next year, too bad, you have to take it out. That's just the rules. With a Roth IRA, you'd never have to take it out if you don't want to. Now, I have no idea how much you have to take out. I just don't know. But 70 and a half, you have to start making withdrawals with a traditional IRA. Taxes. With the here's the thing. With the traditional IRA, you start getting your tax break immediately. If you contribute $5,500, and then you can take that $5,500 off your income. You don't get a $5,500 tax credit. In other words, if you normally get $500 a year, you're not going to get $6,000 the next year. You just get to take it off what your earned income is, which can, if you're in a 15% tax bracket and you contribute $5,000, you're going to save $750 on your taxes, which is not a bad deal. With the Roth IRA, there is no immediate tax break. You pay taxes and then you contribute. You get nothing. You get no type of tax break immediately if you do a Roth IRA. But here's the thing. The Roth will grow tax-free. It grows tax-free everything you put in there because you've already paid taxes on it. It won't be taxed when you draw it out. And however much it grows will also not be taxed when you draw it out. With a traditional, then you're going to pay taxes when you withdraw it. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay. Yeah, let me touch on this a little bit more. With the traditional IRA, when you start drawing it out, you will pay taxes, whatever your tax rate is at that time. Say you're 65. Whatever your tax rate is at 65, when you draw the money out, you have to pay taxes on however much you drew out. Whether it's $1,000 or $50,000, you'll pay taxes on it. With the Roth, when that day comes, you won't owe any taxes at all. So you can get the tax break now and nothing later. No tax break now, and no taxes later. Roth is my favorite, no doubt about it. And here's why: the growth. Say you're 24 years old. And I chose 24 because, I figure you get out of college at 22, it gives you a couple years to save for a house, even though I would start saving immediately while I was saving for a house. Or maybe you went for a master. But anyway, 24 is a time when a lot of people are just starting their careers. Let's say you're 24 years old and you contribute a measly $250 a month. And believe me, almost anybody working full time, if they handle the finances even halfway well, can afford $250 a month. The only question is, what's more important? Getting a really nice $500 a month car when you're 24 years old, or getting a good enough car for $250 a month and putting $250 a month into your IRA or your retirement. Unfortunately, for most people, it's the car. And, that's just the way it is. I didn't save for retirement when I was young because I was goofy. I didn't have the sense God gave a goose, or I would have. And looking at it now, my retirement is going to be okay. But, yeah, I'm not going to be able to just squander money like some type of politician or something. I'll have to be careful. But I could have had so much more if at 24 years old, I'd started saving and not touched it. But, oh well, Thing is, you can never get back the years you've lost. I want young people to understand that. It's very important you start early and you don't touch it and you invest regularly. Because I think it was Einstein that said the greatest mathematical equation of all time was compound interest. Compound interest, man, you can get huge amounts of money over a long period of time. Not a get rich quick scheme. It's get rich extremely slowly and through discipline and, not even that much sacrifice. I don't think $250 a month is not that much. But anyway, let's look at the growth. 24 years old, $250 measly dollars a month. If it grows at 8%, and 8% is not much. It's not, okay, it's about what you should expect. I believe the stock market has returned a 10% return since 1939, 1940. So 8% is, you should expect that, I think. Now, you're going to contribute over that time, $129,000 is what you're going to contribute. Your growth, $938,848 for a grand total of $1,067,848. Again, that's if you start at 64, and I cannot believe I did not write down what age you start drawing it out. I think I put 67, because for most people, that's when your full retirement age is. But anyway, from 24 to 67, you'd have over $1 million if you get an 8% return and put in $3,000 a year. And here's what I like about the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA, you don't pay taxes on any of this. You get $938,000 tax-free. You did pay taxes on the $129,000 as you earned it, but you're getting over $900,000 you don't have to pay taxes on. When you start drawing, you could draw this $1 million out all at once and you won't pay a nickel in taxes. If you drew out $1 million through a traditional IRA, you're going to pay taxes on that $1 million. And what's that going to be? Probably $350,000 in taxes. So now look at this. If you get a measly 6%, if you get 6%, then that's horrible. Get a measly 6%, then you're going to have $596,294, which you still contributed $129,000, but you grew that much, $596,000. And again, if you do a Roth IRA, that's tax free. Now here, if you get 10%, which 10% is achievable, you can do 10%. There'll be years when you have 20% return. There'll be years when you have negative double-digit return. There are negative years. When we had the last time the stock market really took a beating, what year was that? I think George Bush was in office. I can't remember the year, but the stock market lost a huge percentage, and most people don't know this. It gained it all back in a year and a half. The only people that lost money were those that panicked. Those were the only people that lost money. But 10% return, $1.9 million. Again, you contributed $129,000, and you're going to wind up with $1.9 million tax-free if you do a Roth IRA. I'm telling you, young people, it's almost easy to become wealthy in America so long as the economy doesn't completely collapse. And if that happens, you've got more problems than what's in your IRA. If that problem is no matter what, you're gonna be in trouble. So now look here. Here's your 2A IRA. What's a 2A IRA? This right here. This right here is a 2A IRA. Now, there are no I don't know if there are any original thoughts anymore. As far as I know, I just came up with this a few weeks ago. Started thinking about it. Started thinking about buying this weapon for the purposes of reselling. And I thought, well, you have your traditional and your Roth IRA. Why not a 2A, Second Amendment IRA? So I bought this weapon for the sole purpose of selling after retirement years. I think it'll go up in value. It's certainly not going to go down in value. I can sell it right now for what I've got in it, I think. I'm hoping it doubles in value. It still wouldn't be a whole lot dollars wise, but give me something to look at for 14, 15 years. But this is the Gator edition. Ruger 1022. It's a limited edition, 2500. Now you notice I got the Wild Hog edition too. But the Wild Hog, it's not part of my 2A IRA. This gun will never be shot. I'm never going to shoot it. And it is going to be sold someday. When I retire and as I need money. But here's your advantages and disadvantages of a 2A IRA. First, there's no maximum contribution. You can buy as many weapons as you want in most states. Now, there are some loony states out there where, I'm not going to get into that. But for most of us, there's no maximum contribution. Now, I don't know every firearm law, but as far as I know, I think I could go out there and buy 100 weapons this year, I think, if I wanted to. Pretty sure. You can sell when you want. I can sell my 2A IRA rifle right now and not incur any type of penalty. You can buy when you want. It's also tangible. A lot of people like the fact you can actually hold on to stuff. You can actually touch something. Myself, that's not that big of a deal. But the way I look at it is, I've got a nice piece of wall art, for the next 14, 15, 16 years, maybe 30 years. I don't know when I'll sell it. But I can look at it and sell it someday. But anyway, here's a big disadvantage to a 2A IRA. There are unknown rules for the future. Nobody knows what rules politicians are going to impose on us. Nobody knows if you're going to be able to sell to an individual. I believe individual sales will someday be outlawed nationwide. So you have to take it to a pawn shop or someplace where you may not get quite as much. With traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs, it's more likely we know what the rules are going to be in the future. We have no idea what gun laws are going to be in the future, especially when it comes to selling, private party sales. So unknown rules is a huge disadvantage, I think. There's much less return. Okay, I could have taken that $400 and invested it in the average stock or the average fund over the next 14 years. And I keep saying 14 years because that's when my wife will be 62. My retirement is set for the most part. And what I mean by that is I lost my leg in 2003. I've been getting disability ever since. And so I get the maximum I could draw on Social Security. Disability, what they do is they pay you what your maximum retirement age Social Security would have been. So my retirement is pretty well set. My wife's Social Security is not going to be as much as mine. So we need to make sure that we're saving so that she can quit at 62 if she wants to. I want her to be able to retire at 62 if she wants to do so. That's very important to me because I plan on retiring probably when I'm 62. But I have such a good job, I'm not sure I'll ever be able to walk away. I often say that I wish Lowe's would cut their benefits so that'd be a lot easier to retire, But anyway, there are unknown rules. There's much less return. What I was saying was I can take that $400. I actually pay $359 for the weapon plus tax. I could take that $390, $380 something dollars. I could have invested in the average fund or a mutual fund, and it'd be worth a heck of a lot more probably than that weapon's going to be. In 14 years, it probably would, I'm guessing $1,200. I think I'll be lucky if that weapon's worth $800 or $1,000 in 14 years, which it very well might be because it is a limited edition. It looks nice. And the thing about weapons, they retain a large part of their value. And like I said, I'm not going to lose money on it. Not going to lose money unless you count the losses I could have had by investing it in something else. But so there is much less return. But it is also an easy and fast access to money in an emergency. If I just had to have $400 right now, I could probably sell that rifle. I get at least $350, minimum $350, selling it private party sale. So the thing about a 2A IRA, you can get money quickly if you just happen to have it. I've often said that guns in the house are equivalent to savings. It's almost the same. It's just that easy to get money for guns. It's just that, especially in Arkansas. I can't speak for every state, but Arkansas, it's pretty easy to get money for weapons pretty quickly. At the pawn shops, private sales, where we can still do private sales here in Arkansas. Some states like Illinois, it's extremely difficult to do a private party sale in Illinois. But anyway, there you go. Roth IRA, traditional IRA, 2A IRA. What's my least favorite? If you're talking about I'd say 2A IRA. Even though I love guns, love looking at them, love having them. Still, the whole purpose of a retirement account is to save for your future, so that you don't have to depend on Social Security as much when you get old, or depend on your kid. Man, I tell you, it'd be a sad state if your children had to help pay some of your bills when you were an adult. That'd be sad, but anyway, don't wait too long. You can never get back the years of your youth. If you're young, start now. Investing in any of these 3 IRAs. Even a 2A IRA is much, much better than nothing. It's much better than nothing. But anyway, hope this information was helpful. I hope somebody learned something. And remember, I'm not an expert. I just come across as a financial expert sometimes simply because I know more than the average person. But the average person knows nothing. The average person knows very little about stock market, IRAs, and things like that. So, and I'm not an expert. Some people try to give me credit where credit is not due, I'm afraid, just because I know a little bit about how Wall Street works and how the market works. And when you know a little bit about something where the average person knows nothing, you can come across sometimes as a expert when you certainly are not. But anyway, if anybody has any questions, then I'll be glad to answer them. And I'll pretend like I know everything. Don't worry about that. Y'all have a good day.